in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's a third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they were like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody.
Who should always make the first move in a relationship? Obviously, it should be the lady. And I wonder why that's even a debate. The real question should be, why should a man make the first move? As we've come to know them today, dating and relationships are very different from what they used to be a few years back. Back then, it wasn't even a question. The guy always made the first move, but times have changed. Or maybe it's the people who changed. So what happened? In my opinion, it's up to the women to make the first move now because it's gotten too risky for men to make the first move. While Frobot's words seem absurd, it's the truth today. It's now too risky for the men to make the move. Before now, the fear may come from being unsure how the person would react. But the rise of new technologies and ideologies has made things a little worse and more complicated. That's why the idea behind making the first move must also change. Pay close attention and see why here.
It sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationship.
You heard that?
For the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationship.
I mean, no one wants to get into trouble for simply making the first move. Things quickly go south with ladies these days, and before you know it, the guy would be on the news. Then she gets a mood swing. Now I need a lawyer. That sounds funny, but it has grossly affected modern dating. These can be seen across different instances where the young men are accused of forcing themselves on ladies. Honestly, there are instances where the accusations are true, but the fact that everything can now be manipulated to favor women make guys more careful. No point risking my whole life just for a hug. It could be as bad as that. Since these fears are here today, what would happen to relationships now? If you like the guy, don't wait for him to make the move first. Do it yourself. This may be the way to go because that's the only way most guys today would rather have it. The risk heavily outweighs the potential reward. The risk? Your own life crumbling in front of your eyes, maybe because of a hug or a peck. This has happened before. To make things even worse, some people even think dating is just overhyped. Dating is such a drag. Ladies aren't the same anymore. Some guy said lonely is better than prison. Wouldn't you rather be free without a partner than have someone and then be locked up in prison? The choice is clear. But do you think that's enough reason for men not to make the first move? Well, it isn't the only reason. Plus, not all ladies are out there to bring a man down. Some ladies want the man making the first, so they'd show all the green lights and signs. However, some men don't just take it because of other valid reasons. Some men have stopped making the first move due to rejection. How many first moves do you think it takes before you give up? Truly, some have been rejected in the past, and that's why they do not even try. If you've experienced one before, you'll know how bad it is to be rejected and why it could be a good reason to stop trying. But to stop trying may not always be a great option. Some ladies get turned off by that because they like their man taking the initiative and making the first move. Besides, there's a positive side to getting rejected. It builds character. Also, the more you get rejected, the closer you are to meeting the one girl you will love with all your heart. And she actually will love you. Let's say it takes 30 rejections before you meet the one. Then the rejection doesn't bother you. You just keep going because you are now one number closer to the one. Other groups of men do not make the first move because they do not want to place the woman in a tight spot. Every single man doesn't want to make a woman uncomfortable by making the move too early, so they don't make the move at all, even if it's warranted. Sometimes, the move could make the women uncomfortable, and as gentlemen, many young men don't want that for the ladies. Plus, it could also be because of the problem of friend zoning that many have stopped making the first move. Some guys get the shock of their lives when they find out that the lady they are interested in only sees them as friends. This is typically what you'd call friend zoning, and it can take several forms. Thing is, girls expect the first move. And when we do, they always pull the "I only see you as a friend," or "You're not my type," or "I have a boyfriend." Doing this has hurt a lot of young men, so it's better for them to keep their distance. However, the truth is that not all ladies do any of these I've spoken about so far. Some ladies even go the extra mile and actually make the first move. That's much safer, and I can tell you that if that's what would save many young men from trouble, it's better for the ladies to start making the first move. Are you experiencing something like this? Or do you know anyone who has been in such a situation? How did it turn out? Feel free to comment on your experience or that experience, and let's share it with the community.